Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk a little bit about this new animated series from Crunchyroll. They're doing original anime series now, High Guardian Spice. I guess everybody's been talking about it on the internet today.
I saw it earlier.
I totally missed it. I missed the announcement.
How'd you miss this? It was all over the place.
I have no idea. So, Crunchyroll, of course, has anime. They have anime from a bunch of different companies, different production studios.
I've watched Crunchyroll before.
Yes, we do watch Crunchyroll. And now they're producing their own original content. I believe this is the first original show
Yeah, it's the first one. They're going to start doing their own original content in 2019. This is the first one they're going to do.
Okay, so...
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, can we just mention the fact that it's original? Something new. I can get behind new things. New things are good things. Usually. Well, hopefully.
Yeah. So, High Guardian Spice, we'll read the announcement from comicbook.com, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. We don't really know a whole lot about the show yet, but we do know some of the people involved. So, we'll... well,
not personally. But
not personally. So, Crunchyroll launching original anime inspired. It's not actually anime. And in fact, I wouldn't call it anime. It looks very American. Tumblr-esque, yes. High Guardian Spice series. Crunchyroll may be best known for streaming anime, but the company has bigger plans for its future. Not only has the service expanded its catalog in recent years, but the team behind Crunchyroll is ready to open its own studio to create original content.
Which I like. Original is good. Original is a good thing. I like original.
Right. So what's coming up to the plate
Pretty
first?
much. 150% diversity. Yes, we're getting to that.
That would be High Guardian Spice, an adorable 2D animated title that will make fans of Little Witch Academia swoon.
Which I like Little Witch Academia.
And it does look very similar to that. It looks... Okay, so today Elation confirmed is launching a new brand called Elation Studio... Okay, who wrote this?
I didn't get to see
Today, Elation confirmed is launching a new brand called Elation Studios, a division dedicated to creating anime-inspired shows. The series will be hosted on Crunchyroll and VRV, and Elation Studios will have production facilities working between Tokyo and Burbank.
Well, there's good news. It's to have some animation jobs in America again. Well, that's at least a plus.
Yeah. So, let's finish this here, then we'll talk.
Read all of it. Here, let's just read what it's
about. Here we go. Okay. Do you want me to read it?
No, go ahead. Just like
in High Guardian Spice, the lives of four fierce girls: Rosemary,
you have to be fierce.
Rosemary, Sage, Thyme, and Parsley.
Yeah, Parsley sounds threatening.
I do like the names. Converge at High Guardian Academy, the one place where you can stumble toward adulthood while becoming the heroes they've always admired. As they master the ways of battle and sorcery, our foursome form allegiances and comical kinships, uncover legacies and betrayals, and discover their true identities while preparing to protect the world from Voldemort. Preparing to protect the world from an ominous unknown threat.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They said if you like Little Witch Academia, Nerd Wonder, then you'll like this. And that's what it sounds like. Is Little Witch? It does sound like Little Witch Academia.
I mean, I do like the idea that Crunchyroll is starting to do originals. I mean,
yes.
This makes total sense.
It's original.
You look at Netflix. Yeah.
It's original-esque. It's like magical girl, Little Witch Academia meets, Harry Potter meets. It's at least mostly original, which I'll give it that. So you can't complain too much about the art style or anything else here because it's an original piece. It's not like they're trying to reboot something and change it all. So you can't get too mad about this.
What's going on here? People said that they aren't reacting to it very well. Now,
this is the trailer?
This is the trailer. The trailer's up, but they disabled the likes and dislikes on it.
Oh, gotcha.
Comments are disabled. Okay, so apparently there's some backlash. And now I
honestly don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I don't like one of the people working on it.
Yeah, with some a couple of things that kind of stick in my craw here, and we talked about it before. Now I do want to say Margaret Dean, who's the head of Elation Studios, has a pretty impressive resume.
She worked on Robot Chicken.
She can't be all bad. Yeah,
right.
So she has a very extensive history in animation. That's a good thing.
Yes.
So the trailer doesn't really show much of the series. It shows people working on the series. And we're going to go through. Okay, so Ray Rodriguez. I had to do some searching on Ray Rodriguez. Ray is a trans creator on Twitter, but he actually had RayTunes on YouTube, which I thought the animations were actually pretty cute. But apparently, he didn't really do a whole lot on YouTube because he only had like 1,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. But I thought the cartoons were actually pretty cool. So that is the character designer. Okay, so let's keep going here.
Not the creator.
Oh, the creator and character designer. Okay.
Now the backgrounds are beautiful.
I like the art style. I mean,
the backgrounds are good. Now here's what we get. So it's 50% diverse people working on it, and then 100% women writers. And here's my thing about that. It's like, this is where you lost me. You might have a good idea for a show, and it looks cute and all that. But then as soon as you start pushing that, do we mention how diverse we are? Do we mention we're all women writers? We mention all that? And I'm like, why? Why does that matter? I watch shows all the time, and I don't sit there and think to myself, golly gee, I wonder if it was all male writers. Golly gee, I wonder if it was all female writers. Golly gee, I wonder how diverse their production team is. I wonder, those cameramen better be camera women too. No one sits there and thinks about this. Does it matter? Just do a good story.
Yeah, okay, we haven't even gotten to...
that's what we're getting.
We're getting there. We're working our way to
like,
some of the people involved.
This isn't too bad, this isn't too bad, this isn't too bad, and then we saw that, and we're like, shit.
I'm going to say, I like the art style. I like the fact that Crunchyroll is doing original shows.
I do.
I think the head of the studio.
I do think it's too similar to what I think they're copying a little heavily off of, Little Witch Academia.
They took a lot of popular anime and sort of threw them into a blender. But I think you'd almost have to.
I think you do. If you're starting out as a new studio,
it's your first effort.
It's mass appeal. You're trying to hit mass appeal. It's like throwing spaghetti on a wall and trying to hit as much. If you ever watched Good Mythical Morning and they go to do their dart things and they throw as many as they can, or they throw a burger with ketchup to see how much they could smear to get the furthest reach possible. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, I like this dude. He looks like he could be in like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, they're going to try to take away anime next. They're going to start on an American one, Amerime, and then they're going to turn it. Then they're going to try.
Yeah, this is where we're going. So first they came.
Kate left. We're getting there.
First they came for video games. Then they came for comic books, and now we're moving on to animation. We're seeing a lot of these people moving on to animation.
I'm not hating this.
I don't hate this.
I'm not going to lie, I don't hate this.
I don't think most of the people involved are...
I'd have to see it.
Right.
But like this one I can't get mad about because it's not like, it's not like She-Ra or, Thundercats where they're just completely taking something else and redoing it and ruining it. This is something new, so I can't, it's their own thing. So, kudos for originality mostly. Yeah, so we were like, okay, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. Keep going.
I'm down with it. Okay,
it's not too bad.
We're like, okay, why are people complaining? Why? Okay,
and then we're like,
here we go.
Shit.
Because
there it is.
This was never mentioned until somebody came on.
Our characters are diverse. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. And we're like, okay, oh God, here we go. Okay, so, shit.
Yeah. Now, why do we say this? Okay, let's explain why we say this. Oh, God, where do we begin? So, like, if you've been on Twitter for the last couple years, 2 or 3 years, you're probably around during the reign of the Noelle Stevenson and Kate Leth, toxic.
The Tumblr.
Vomiting on everyone on Twitter.
The Tumblr influx.
Yes. And they are constantly, like, bashing people, like, bashing men, constantly having to show everybody, who's who and what's what. And my thing as a parent, it's like, I don't really want people working on shows that are supposed to be geared to my kids when they're constantly, like, vomiting bullshit on Twitter. And it's not even about what gender they are, what sexual orientation are. It's just about being a dick and bashing on people for no reason.
Here's the thing. Okay, so we did story time, but we didn't do the Wayne's World geeky story time. About 4 or 5 years ago, for those of you who don't know, Tumblr invaded Twitter. A lot of Tumblr artists.
Now Tumblr is Twitter is
Twitter
Tumblr.
and Tumblr are interchangeable now. Same people.
Take a screenshot, you'll not know which was which.
Yeah, this is what does it for me. Like, if Kate Leth were not involved, I would be 100% on board with this show.
I mean, I do think, when we say original, I mean, I think they're trying to be original, but it still isn't original. But you know what I mean? It's at least they're trying to be more original.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Kate Leth, and I do not know Kate Leth. I've never met Kate Leth. I have followed Kate
her,
Leth.
and I've seen her behavior. Okay, we
Geeky
know her
does
from
not like
her.
Kate Leth.
I do not like her and Noelle Stevenson. I'll tell you why. And it's not that I don't know. I might meet them. In person. They might be cool in person. But from what I've seen of them, and my impression from them is solely based on their behavior and how I've watched it for years on Twitter. And I remember sitting there thinking, why are they such jerks? I mean, they were just like going around just being jerks to be jerks. I mean, you can go back and look at their, unless they deleted it, you can go back and see what I'm talking about.
I think they deleted, now that these people are trying to, they're getting it because comics, like the mainstream doesn't really pay attention to comic book people, but they do pay attention to people in animation. I think now that you have a lot of these indie comics creators moving into animation.
But my next question is, why are these people qualified to be in animation? Like, she's at least a staff writer. I still don't understand how Stevenson got to be a producer. I mean, I still don't understand that. I helped write a couple episodes of a show when on a team, and now I'm a producer. At least this makes her being a writer makes sense. But I'm just like, and I mean, I always thought she always picked cute dresses and stuff, so I'll give her that. But it's just, that one's a questionable choice. But it's just like, I've seen so much bad behavior out of these people previously, and maybe it's because I've been around longer and I'm old and I've seen the behavior longer, and if you're just coming into it, you wouldn't see that behavior now because they're being better. But, well, not really better, but you know what I mean.
They have to be.
They're being more censored than they used to be.
Well,
still being dicks, but being nicer about it.
Right, when you're
a nicer dick.
They're nicer dicks, but when you're working for like Disney or like major, DreamWorks or
she's
major
the
animation.
one who said that she was glad she got her visa renewed because she was supposed to be trying for a Disney job and they couldn't hire her because of her visa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, don't let her anywhere near Disney. I'm just like, don't let her anywhere near Disney.
So, again, I do not know Kate Leth. I do not know Noelle Stevenson personally. I only know them from their social media presences, and this is why your social media presence, how you interact with people on social media is so important. I have never interacted with either of these women.
But I don't know them personally, but I've seen their behavior. And
I have seen them interact with other people
crap.
and made judgment calls based on that and those interactions.
Like Nerd Wonder saying,
and they're negative.
They're bullies, and she's right. That's how they behaved. They would go around and just like somebody would comment on something that had nothing to do with them, and because they didn't like it because they were a man, they would learn them and they'd be like, I wasn't even talking to you. I don't even know you, and they didn't care because they're like, I mean, they changed. Season's ID was ginger hazing. I mean, to go hazing. I was gonna make one called ginger grazing and talk about how I like to eat, but I decided not to. But anyway, my point is, it's like Mean Girls. It's like, that's what it reminds me of. Everybody keeps saying about the Mean Girls, but that is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I think I honestly, just to crawl into the psychology
even when you listen to her talk, she sounds, I'm not going to play it, but she's like, oh my God,
Yeah, I know.
It's just like, it's the Mean Girl mentality. Like, we're trying to be nice. Look how nice, and we're uplifting. We're reaching out help for hands. No, they're bullies.
Yeah, Noelle Stevenson, Makina 90, she worked in comics she did Tumblr art, and she basically, her career is very odd. She started out working in as basically got hired right out of college. She was going up.
We can't say too
much. Can't say too much. We know people who know people who know people. And
we know people who were directly involved, and we know what happened for real, and the story that's spun and what really happened are two different things. But it basically, knowing people get a book deal and then, saying you had a webcomic, which wasn't really a webcomic, it was more promotion for your book. And then turning around and then going from that, which didn't sell very well, and then getting on another team, on another book that was a little more high profile, but also was one that we know, from people who were involved, that they were buying their own books back to make it look like they were selling more. And then
Bill Boom.
And then there was Bill Boom that was buying their own books back, and then went from that to her other stuff that didn't sell, and then all of a sudden she's like running on Wonder Under Yonder and like DuckTales. She did a couple writing credits on. Well, that's another story.
That's a whole nother
irritates
can of worms.
Neon to no end for other reasons, and she was part of a team, so she wasn't like directly responsible for any of this stuff. And then all of a sudden, I'm a producer on a major show for Netflix. It's like, what? How? Yeah. I want that kind of job. I performed a couple lobotomies on, my dolls, and now I think I should be a brain surgeon.
Yeah, I can't, for some reason, I cannot interact with the chat window, and I'm really sorry, guys. I'm trying to paste this in there.
But it's just like, I mean, and I don't want to hate on anybody, but it's just like, but there's so much hate spewed out of these people. If you just go back on Twitter and look, if you're not know what I'm talking about, they didn't delete them all. You can go back 2 or 3 years on their Twitter and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's been cleaned up. I knew who these people
were.
Yeah.
That's how I knew who they were.
Stevenson and Leth basically made just from my personal opinion, again, I do not know them, but I was an armchair observer. They basically made a career out of roasting men online, and that's how they got their followers, because they were just sticking it to dudes. And now I think a lot of those tweets are probably swept under the rug because they're trying to work.
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if I don't know them either. But my problem with them is behavior. If you see somebody who's behaving badly, someone who's a decent person isn't going to behave like a shithead on the internet all the time. And that's how they behaved all the time. I mean, they were always on there, like, being mean. And I was like, I didn't know. I mean, this is years ago before any of this, before She-Ra, before any of it. And I was like,
working in animation,
who the heck are these people? Why are they such bags? I was like, what is their problem?
I know. So, again, this is what happens. This is what happens when, you don't keep your social media persona in check and you want to work professionally. Kate Leth is not well liked at all. She is not well liked by a lot of people. So the video, even though there are many people working on the series, and even though many of them are very qualified, and actually looks like it could be a quality show, it's getting downvoted into oblivion because Kate Leth is associated with it.
And if people are like saying about it being original in quotes, and I totally get where you're coming from. I do agree with you. It looks like it's copying up a lot of things. However, I'll give it a pass because I think what they're trying to do, because it's their first one, is they're trying to do something that is playing off of other things that are popular to try to get it, attractive. You like this, you'll like this. You know what I mean? If you like Little Witch Academia, you'll love this. And then basically the reason they're doing that, because I can tell you as a writer, the reason they're doing that is because they're trying to cast a wide net in their first one to be like, look, it's something you understand. It's kind of like The Force Awakens. The reason it was like A New Hope all over again was because they were trying to go back to what was familiar to win the fan base back, which they totally lost in The Last Jedi. It's kind of like that. It's like we're going to cast a wide net with something that people seem to like, that they feel familiar and comfortable with, and these kind of ideas, and that's our first original quotes, and that's probably why they're doing it that way.
Which I don't disagree with. I mean, I don't...
No, that's what I would do, too, honestly.
I don't hate this. I mean, this is an original thing. I mean, where we come down on, like, the cow art style and stuff is when it's applied to an existing IP, and you turn that IP into something it isn't. Like Thundercats, like She-Ra. In this case, this is a kind of-ish brand new thing. I don't have a problem with that art style, but like I said, like whatever pass I might have given, like, hey, this was pretty cool. Every time I watch this, if I watch this, I'm gonna be like, oh god, Kate Leth is working.
Yeah, we were all like, oh, this isn't too terrible. I do have a problem with the fact that they're leading off with, they mentioned the original show and they mentioned it, but then they keep pushing. Did we mention it's 100% women writers? Did we mention that it's 50% that women in the all the aspects of the jobs involved and everything else? And I'm like, why do we need to know that? I just don't get that.
Well, that's it. Someone said so. Jafar says so. The trailer's about them talking about how diverse.
Right.
Yeah, that's odd.
What people are mad about.
Show us the show. Don't talk about.
I don't mind.
Nobody really cares.
I think it's cute. My daughter would like it.
I think the designs are cute. I think it's a cute looking show. But
I do think it's ripping highly off of other things. But at least they're trying to be. Hey, there's a dude. That's a miracle. Anyway, but the backgrounds are beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. It's
like She-Ra. The backgrounds are great. If we could just have a show full backgrounds, we'd be doing good. But
but here we're talking about again our.
Yeah, the whole trailer is about how diverse we are.
How many people do we have of a certain gender, certain sexual orientation? Does it matter? Is the show good or not? Yes or no? That's all you have to do. And I think that's where people are having a problem with it.
Yeah, they want to be showed, not told. Show, not tell. And the thing is, it's like you're spending their whole time through this video talking about, how diverse they are. Here's all this name and that name, and here's how woke we are, kind of thing. Is I've used everybody else's terms. I don't ever say that normally. And it's like, why aren't you just showing us the show? And who do we really need to know?
Yeah, so Brad's saying this is kind of where I guess this is where people are having a problem. They said that it was a theft of money of anime fans that gave them money to bring in more anime. The thing with all these streaming, well, it's a pretty valid point.
That is a valid point, actually.
Because they could be chasing more licenses. But what's going on with these streaming services now is they're all scrambling to create original content because eventually Crunchyroll will be another basically TV network.
Right.
In a sea of
and
streaming.
I endorse original things. I mean, I'm tired of. I mean, can we stop the stupid reboots already? What was the other day I saw too? They were trying to reboot, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But there is. I mean, everything's been rebooted. I mean, the fact they're trying to at least kind of do something new, I totally appreciate. But I don't know why you can't just show us what you're working on, and why you have to make it a commercial for diversity. Why can't I mean?
Yeah, and this is the same problem that we had.
And I'm a woman. I'm saying that
with comics was, show us with good stories that you are good storytellers. We don't even like when
it does look very Steven Universe. Yes.
Like when I was a kid, I read comic books. I didn't know who the hell most of the people were who worked on the comic books I read because their names were so tiny on the front page.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. I watch shows now, and I don't sit there read books or watch TV shows or watch movies or watch anime or K-drama or something, and I don't literally sit there the whole time. Geez, like I said, I wonder how diverse this cast is. They better be very diverse. They better have they better be women. They better be, and of those, what makes it 75% women then or something? But it's like, of those, you better be this many POCs and this many of this and this many of that. And you're like, is this good or not?
And
that's all you care about.
And that's the problem with, a lot of the shows now, a lot of the comics now.
It's not about the shows, it's about who's creating it.
It's not, again, it's not about the characters.
The work doesn't speak for itself anymore.
No, the work doesn't speak for itself. And, let the work speak for itself. And I agree with Arcane City. We did now in the past. We used to do a lot of anime conventions. We have done a lot of anime.
I love anime conventions.
We've been invited to many anime conventions in the past. We haven't done it in a couple of years, but always have a lot of fun. Always have a good time. Love anime fans, and yes, they are a very, very diverse group of people. We don't. They don't need to be told how to be diverse. I mean, the anime community is probably the most diverse of all the fandoms out there. I think anime fans are probably the most diverse. I love going anime cons.
Everybody's so awesome. And everybody, it's a very diverse group of people, and everybody seems to get along, and they're diverse, and they don't have to. At least the ones we've been to, they didn't spend their time telling everybody else who wasn't like them and they were, they shouldn't be there and they shouldn't exist.
Yeah. So I was like, I was like all on board until Kate Left popped up, and then we just turned into a commercial.
I did think it was very similar to some other things, but I was like, okay, well, I'm willing to forgo that. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, our writers' room is 100% female.
Why does that matter?
I mean, do you want women writing a show about girls? Yeah, probably.
But here's my thing: if they had a show, okay, let's flip this, and then say they're doing, let's say they're doing a new anime show. Okay, like we'll say the Dragon Prince isn't really anime, but you know what I mean? The Dragon Prince. We'll use that as an example. And if they had said, oh, the writing room's 100% male. Oh my God. They were already having a fit because they thought by the poster there was no women in it. There was people
God, they did.
They were having a cow. I'm thinking the one character, the Elf Assassin, is a woman, is female, because by the figure you can tell it's female. But they were like, well, it's the Dragon Prince, and there's no women, and what the heck? And I'm like, but you're getting She-Ra, and it's all women, except for Bo, which, whether he's a woman or man is questionable. But I'm just like, you can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and be mad about it being all men writers and then be like, oh, it's all female writers here. You know what I mean? You can't. Why can't we just have diverse groups of people working together, male and female, and call it a day? I don't get it.
Because that's too easy. I think that's a lot of these college kids. I think even the audiences now, the younger audiences, have been trained to look at the creators first. It used to be that it was all about the show, and then you would want to learn more about the creators.
Right. Because it's not supposed to be about the creators. No, and now
it's completely backwards. Now it's all about the creators first, and
I mean, it's nice if you're a creator to get acknowledged, but I mean, when we do our stuff, I want people to be like in love with the stuff we do and not being like, oh, well, I only got to read it because Geeky's involved with it. Well, I'm like, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I'm laughing, but I'm just like, I can't imagine someone wanting to read this because I'm involved with it. But
I think it's I would.
Well, you're biased.
I think it's just kind of the mentality. I think it's because we're in the selfie generation now, where everybody wants to be a superstar. They all want to be superstar. Smell my armpits, and they all want to they all want to be put up on that pedestal. And this is why they're hiring people from social media, which again, it's not a very good indication of whether or not you can actually write or draw well. Just that you have 100,000 Twitter followers or whatever. That's not. And honestly, if you're spending that much time on Twitter, you're probably not writing or drawing very much.
Between white writers, it was kind of funny when you see the people. They had a picture of all the women writing She-Ra, and it was very light skinned group of people. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing that up. I'm just saying.
I don't care. I mean, the show's mostly.
Thank you, Nerd Wonder. Well, anybody wants to read what we do, you can go see Shadowminders, but that's what but I have time to write. I don't have time anymore. I'm so busy. But I'm just like,
there's a guy.
And here's my thing. It's just like what makes me. I just can't wrap my head around it. It's like I was all for it until I saw Kate Left, and I really was like, just because I have a bad impression of her from her behavior. I don't know her.
Yeah,
her behavior has rubbed me the wrong way so many times. I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with her.
That's what's sad about this, because I might actually give the show a chance. if Kate Leth wasn't involved. And even now, I'll probably watch it, but I'm going to watch it knowing Kate Leth is involved. And every time, and again, I don't know her personally, but I've watched enough of her drama on Twitter. Her behavior on Twitter to be like, God, I really don't want to support anything she does.
You can be a strong female really and not have to tear everybody else down around you. I'm just saying. I mean, it seems like to be strong and stand out, you have to belittle everyone else. And I just don't think that's necessary.
No. Is this anime gate? Yeah, I think
it's starting.
Well, I have been hearing from multiple people that basically what's going on is you have the same basic group of people moving from video games where they were sort of pushed back by Gamergate. They moved on to comic books where they were sort of pushed back. A combination of Comicsgate and just the economics of the comic book industry. And now these people are moving on to animation and anime. They're looking for that platform because again, it's about me, not the product, not the consumer, but their Twitter followers, their Instagram followers, their own personal platforms. So they look for pre-built fan bases, and then they sort of like, in a parasitic fashion, sort of latch on to that.
And I was sitting there thinking too, like about Twitter and stuff again, and it's like, you can be pro whatever your cause is, pro women, pro whatever, and not be a dick. And that's what I'm saying. And it's like there's like you can't just be pro something without being a dick. Apparently, with these people. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's I think that's the problem, and they sort of undermine their own case, I think, because
when you behave that way, like I said, I don't know them personally. I just know them from reputation and behavior I've seen, and this is going back for years. I was like, what the heck? What? Why are they so mean? I was like,
it's been going on, and again, it sort of diminishes the roles, I think, of because a lot of them were like, hey, we're taking comics for women, but women were already working in comics. Women were working, and especially, I mean, here's where I don't know how far, if this mindset is going to get in actual anime, because you have so many female showrunners, so many female manga creators, very, very successful women already, who have already been there for decades. And if they come in with this, men are keeping us down stuff in anime, it's not going to go very far.
And these women did it. These women did it. But these women did it when, even if you want to argue the men were keeping them down, they still did it with that going on and without resorting to behaving badly on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like they got this platform built up on the back, so there's other people lifting them up, like, oh yeah, tell them how it is to promote, So they're not in as a hostile environment to them as maybe these other people would have been. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, again, it's like, here's the problem with not watching what you say on Twitter or picking fights constantly on Twitter is years down the road. You might not think about when you're younger, and you're
we all say dumb things sometimes. I mean,
everybody says
all the time.
Everybody says dumb things, but I'm like, you might not think about when you're younger, but if you build a career off of, bashing people, then that is your career.
People will remember.
They will remember.
You think that people aren't looking, but people are looking. And that's how I knew these people from before. As soon as I knew the names, I'm like, oh, it's those people. They were such jerks. So you know what I'm saying? It's just, I know them by reputation only, and the reputation was not a good one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I like some people were throwing out Nerdgate. I think that's what's going to happen. I think all of the geek hobbies are going to sort of morph into one just giant, and it's a group of people who think that they are entitled to a pre-existing fan base, a fan base that predates them by decades in many, many cases, and they just want a platform for themselves and their own opinions, which they feel are more important than anyone else's opinions, and so they're like attaching themselves to these fan bases.
And that's what I'm saying. And on this one, I think that okay, you're gonna have this new show, and that's fine. Yeah. Let it speak for itself. If you're gonna put a trailer out of the show. Don't put a trailer out discussing how diverse you are and how much women are involved and how they're gonna be woke, they're gonna be, and everything else. Don't put that out. Put a trailer out showing your show.
That was okay. That was a huge tactical blunder, because
kiss Kiss falling up. Yay!
I can't. I would like to show these comments, but I can't because my mouse is not.
They want to remember Kiss fall in love. Yay! I love that.
Yeah, gender politics is absent from Japanese entertainment industry. Yeah, only in America could this happen because in Japan there are very many successful women in manga and anime working already and have been there for decades, and they will have none of this. I can tell you, they're just not going to put up with it. So what's going on is, I think because they know they can't get to the Japanese, we're creating our own shows. It won't let me click on it. I'm so mad they won't let
me post this comment.
Oh, there. Is it my mouse? Oh, there we go.
Okay. Anyway, is it a post?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, because I like that comment. I like that show. Our daughter, when she was little, she used to ask for Commoner's Ramen. People used to look at me like I was crazy. She'd be like, "Can I have Commoner's Ramen?" And I'd be like, "Yes." So anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I lost your. I was supposed to think about Commoner's Ramen. What were you talking about?
I don't remember. I think no. Okay, okay. So from like a PR perspective, because my background's actually was in marketing and public relations, knowing how divided the geek fandoms are right now, knowing how people feel about certain personalities being involved in shows, putting a trailer, quote unquote trailer, out that does not show the series but just talks about the people working on it was a huge colossal blunder. That was dumb. The best thing they could have done was to put out a really kick-ass trailer and be like, oh, by the way, these people worked on this. Kind of the same with She-Ra. Like, the first thing we should have seen of She-Ra was not screenshots and a big headshot. Noelle Stevenson's giant head in Entertainment Weekly. It should have been, here's a kick-ass trailer of She-Ra. That's what they did with Voltron. It was like, look, guys, we're bringing Voltron back, and oh my God, it looks awesome. That's what you do. And then people are excited. Then you can learn more about the creators if you're interested. But if your product sucks, it doesn't matter who's working on it.
It's just,
again, they've got backwards. They're trying to sell the creators. They're trying to sell the creators and not sell the show, sell the product.
And that's just it. And I think that's all people are having trouble with. I mean, because the original is, okay, we'll give it original, but it's questionable whether it's original. And also the fact that it was all about who's working on it and not about the show. And I'm just like, all we learned about the show was that one little paragraph. That's all we learned about the show. All I know about
the show is
someone's named Parsley.
Someone's named Parsley. The character designs are kind of cute, and Kate Leth is on it. And it's 50%. It's like a pop quiz. Like, what is the percentage of women working on the show? What's the percentage of women in the writers' room? It's like, well, I know it's 100% and 50% for the entire staff and Parsley. Yeah, that's all I remember.
It's it's more about that than it is about, the show. And I'm just like, what the flip? Anyway.
Yeah, so people are downvoting it. Crunchyroll, this is why. It's not because of a bunch of mistakes. Because we actually have many women in our chat right now. And
This is what makes me mad. Is like when women speak out against this stuff, they're immediately discredited. You don't even hear anything about them. All you hear is about the misogynist. That'll be the word. This will get launched. People won't like it. They had to turn off the thumbs up, thumbs down, and the comments and stuff. And what's going to happen is, you're going to start seeing in a few days, all The Verge and all these places are come out being, misogynists don't like the new Crunchyroll show. Misogynists are trying to stop women in comics, women in anime. That's what you're going to see. And
that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know how the media is taking it, but this is always what happens. There's always some kind of shitty preview put out. Gender politics are always thrown in the mix. And then when people have any kind of negative reaction to it, then all of a sudden it becomes the white male MAGA hat wearing, and it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous argument, and there are many women who aren't really sold on this either.
I think the problem people are having with it is a couple of things when they're using the original loosely, because it is very similar to some other things.
Yeah, it is.
The anime inspired people don't like the fact they're using the word anime with it because it's not anime, and then the fact that they give a trailer and it's all about how diverse and how many women are working on it, and not about the show.
Yeah,
I think that's what people are having problems with.
Oh, thank you, Zoran Zero. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that, but you said if that's how they want to market the show and it's their original idea, then I'm fine with it. But if they're blocking comments, that's not a good look.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think, again, I think if they had just put a really cool trailer out and just let the show sell itself and said, look at the quality work we're doing, I think people would have been like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying.
That's enough, you know. But to just shoehorn in like, yeah, hey, we're doing this cool show. And again, the first half of the trailer, you know, the preview is kind of fine. I'm like, yeah, this looks pretty cool. This looks pretty cool. And it's like, oh, here comes Kate Leth, and here come the politics. And I'm like, yeah.
That's my thing with it too. Is I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know, okay, I can forgive the, you know, taking a lot of inspiration, obvious inspiration from other shows, because like I said, as a writer, if you're starting out a brand new thing, like Crunchyroll starting to do, they're launching this brand new original content, you're going to want to start with something that has a mass appeal and that has it looks similar to something that's already out there, that you can go to that fan base and say, hey, if you like this, you'll come here. Right. I can forgive that because I understand why they made that choice.
Right.
Okay, so I can forgive that. And I can, you know, I can forgive a couple of things. What I just can't get around is the whole, we're going to launch this new show, but instead of showing the show, we're going to show that we have all these women and we're diverse. But I'm like, but what about your show? I want to know about your show. I don't want to know about that. I don't really care about that. I just want to know, is your show good? And that's my thing.
And my thing is like, if that is their focus is on,
then you know it's not going to be good.
It's like, instead of spending all of this time convincing people why the show is going to be good because of who's working on it and what gender they are, what their sexual orientation is, just show us a good trailer. My God, how hard is that? Just show us. Oh, thank you, Leo. I won't call you Leon today. I'm so sorry.
That was my fault because I interrupted you when you were trying to say.
I can't think when Geeky speaks.
That's right. I'm just when I speak, you know, his thoughts just end and he's just in awe. No, actually, he's like, "Have you shut up already?"
Oh no, not at all. How long until they forget about all the female legends in anime and manga before them, like they did in games, like they did in comics? Exactly. This is true. This is actually, when you have people come in that are, let's be honest here, when you have people come in that are new to the hobby, that are new to the industry, and they start, you know, they take a look around and they're like, yep, there just aren't enough women or people of color or gay people or whatever the complaint is. It is such a diss to the women and the people of color and the gay folks who have already been there working in that industry for decades, okay? But they didn't broadcast.
Because the narrative they'll spread, especially people like these people on Twitter, is, well, I'm coming in to bring it up to where it should be now because it's not been there. But now that I'm here, it's going to be, you know, elevated to where it should be.
And pardon my French, but who the fuck are you?
Exactly.
You walked in off of Tumblr, where there are women who've been working in this industry for decades, and they make you look very, very sad.
Yeah.
So why do you think you're going to be the chosen one that comes in and suddenly, because again, this is all about me, my personal platform, not about the show, not about the viewers. It's my platform.
And as a writer, Shadowbinders, for example, it's strongly influenced by Inuyasha and stuff like that, also done by a woman. And no matter how hard I work, I aspire to be as good as these people. I know I'm not as good as these people. I would never claim to be better or know more or be as good as these people. That's like who I aspire to be as good as, you know. And the thing about those people that have been doing this for a long time, I'm going to say this real quick, is that I made a comment on Twitter yesterday. I stand by this. Instead of, if you're going to write characters, everybody's so focused on writing these perfect, strong female leads, or, you know, perfectly diverse and virtuous and whatever in characters, that they forget to write real characters and relatable characters, and the characters fall flat. And you're better to write characters that are flawed and characters that are fun and characters that are real and aren't Mary Sue and, you know, whatever strong romanticized lead you want them to be, because then they're going to stick with you. And the thing about these people that came before them that did like Full Metal Alchemist and did Inuyasha and Ranma and all that, they wrote really good characters and really good, fantastic character dynamics. The character dynamics are incredibly important too. Oh yeah,
and that's one thing where manga and anime definitely have an advantage, I think, over even a lot of Western storytelling is that they do have those character dynamics because it moves at a slower pace. So you usually have more time to build up those interpersonal relationships. You spend more time with the characters. You know, 26 episodes.
And it's not just about each character
series.
Like one character being like, you know, the Admiral Holdo is the bestest ever. It's like you have all these characters and they're all flawed, but how do they work together? Like Sailor Moon is even more important than, you know, any one character. You know what I mean? And that's what makes anime so great, especially when you have like ensemble casts, like, you know, Full Metal Alchemist and Inuyasha and all that. What?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just reading.
I know they're written by the same person.
Yeah, it's but you know, there's such amazing work that's been even in American comics. There actually were quite a few women working in American comics, and now these people who just kind of, you know, wafted in from Tumblr are like, there are no women in comics. We're taking comics back for women. It's like, well, actually, women have been here for a while. You just were too dumb to notice because, frankly, you don't even know the industry that you're trying to get into.
No, but they know how to get attention.
They know how to get attention.
And that's what they want to do. It's like they might even know that they're there, but it wasn't enough for them. So they have to stand up, and it's more about getting attention for themselves than it is about fixing a problem in each industry. It's about them getting up on their soapbox and being like, look, I'm this, I'm that, here I am. I've come to elevate it to elevate it to be inclusive because I'm here, even though it was there before. But then people that before them were more about the story, or more about the characters, or more about the fans, and they're more about themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's narcissism. So basically, what's going on? What I've seen. This is the big difference I've seen.
I keep drinking. Sorry, guys.
It's not alcoholic. It should be, but. What I've seen is a narcissism, especially when you have them, creating characters that are very much like themselves, because they kind of are like in their own headspace, and it sort of is like a fanfic, and but it used to be that Rumiko Takahashi is a living legend. Yes, genders
are irrelevant.
She's very, very wealthy too. She is actually, I believe. She is the wealthiest cartoonist in the world.
And that's what I'm saying. Gender is irrelevant. Exactly. All you know is this person tells amazing stories, and their stories are fantastic. The characters are fantastic. Does it matter? I mean, I'm glad it's a woman, but I mean, does it matter? I mean, I didn't sit there and think, oh my gosh, I love this story. It better be done by a woman. I don't ever think that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
if I hear it's done by a woman, I'm like, go them. Well, I wish I could be that great.
It's like kids today. Fresh out of school. It's like they've been.
I talked over you.
Oh, no, that's okay. You're just a woman. I'll just talk over you. But no, it's like kids. Like they think about. Like I never used to think about who created my favorite shows. I just whether or not the show was good. I never thought about who made my comic books. Just do I like this comic book or not? And now we've done this thing where it used to be about creating stories for your audience, and now it's about creating stories for yourself.
No, not even creating for yourself. It's creating it to push yourself and your own agenda. But I was going to say, and even if you found out that someone was created by, did you care if it was created by a man or woman?
No.
And if you found out it was, you'd just been like, oh, that's really cool. I can't wait. I hope I get to meet them someday. It wasn't like.
I never really thought.
If it's created by a man, well, slam. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah. I mean,
I
never thought about it. I never thought that. I mean, I was actually surprised when I was a kid. Sometimes I'd find out that, this or that was created by a woman, or this or that was created by a man, because you would just think watching the show or reading the book or whatever that it was someone of the opposite gender than what you assumed, but it doesn't affect how
you looked at it.
I feel about the work. Now, what does affect how I feel about the work now? Again, this is before social media, but now that we are able
inundated with crap.
Right now that you can basically read the creators' minds, on social media. You hear things you don't want to hear, and then that sort of taints your view of their comic or their animated series based on.
They always said don't meet your heroes, but then these heroes are in your face all the time.
They're in your face screaming at you.
And I'm not saying they're heroes, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And it's like, something else too from a writing standpoint. If you're out there all the time, people are interfacing with you all the time, and they know how you think and how you work, they're going to figure your story out anyway. I mean, if you're not, as a writer, it's better to be kind of anonymous, because then you can do more and not have people in your head knowing how you think, being like, oh, I know how this is going to go. It's going to go this, and this, because you like these things, and I follow everything you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of ruins the element of surprise, too, I think, on stories.
Well, yeah, because now based on the creator's personal political beliefs, I think a lot of times too, where the story's going to go.
Well, that's I think people are worried about this now
because like, oh crap,
here we go.
Exactly.
It's all women
because
all women writers. It's all this, it's all that. Kate left. Everybody's already in their head whether it's going to go that way or not. That's what everybody's assuming. How it's going to go the way she would put it.
And you're not servicing the customer. You're not telling a story to entertain your audience.
Sorry, you said servicing customers.
Okay, well, never mind. But you're not telling a story to entertain your audience. You are using a platform to push your personal beliefs onto an audience, and it's sort of like evangelizing almost. It's like now we got this big megaphone that somebody else built. Usually it's like somebody else built this megaphone, so now I'm going to use it, and I'm going to vomit my beliefs on
other people built this megaphone, and they were diverse already, and I'm going to use it to tell everybody how undiverse they are and how I'm going to lead the charge on diversity. And the thing is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a good story is a good story. It doesn't matter if it's done by a man. It doesn't matter if it's done by a woman. It doesn't matter. In like our case, it's done by both. it's good story's a good story. Let the story speak for itself. Do a trailer on your story. Don't do a trailer on how diverse your group is.
This is why it's getting downvoted. I mean, not that Crunchyroll is going to watch our video, but guys, if you're watching our video, the reason this got downvoted is you basically made a commercial for the people working on the show,
and not the show,
which people don't give two shits about. They want to know if the show is going to be any good. And one of those people in your trailer is one of the most toxic people working in comics. She is not well liked. She's made a lot of enemies, and that's why you're getting downvoted. I mean, it's really that simple.
All feel, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a woman. And I'm even feeling that when you're pushing how diverse and all female you are, it's going to have an agenda right from the get go. And then it's like you want to enjoy the story, but then you're like, even if you are for this agenda, you're going to be they're looking for the agenda. You're going to be disappointed if you don't find it. If you really just want a good show and not the agenda, you're going to be disappointed when the agenda's there. So everybody's going to have these expectations, and there's just disappointment no matter where you look when you're pushing agendas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess this is going to disappoint everyone.
Somebody asked what I think of G. Willow Wilson. I actually don't have any thoughts on G. Willow Wilson, just that I was very surprised. She's a white girl, and she wrote Ms. Marvel for the Muslim character.
Yes.
For Marvel Comics, and I knew she was Muslim, but I didn't know she was.
But you can be blonde. Muslim.
Yeah, I was just kind of surprised. Like I was like, okay. Again, that's one of those unexpected things. I'm like, oh. Okay, but then I never really give it much thought after that. I don't even think I follow her on Twitter or anything.
Well, if you did, you're probably blocked.
Probably, who knows?
Everybody blocks you.
Nobody blocks me. Nobody likes me anymore.
But anyway, just back to this. It's just, I honestly think that my problem with it is, like I said, I can forgive that they're calling it original, and it is original. They're trying to do some original things, but they're really borrowing heavily from other things. I can forgive that because I understand when you're trying to start a business, you might have to do that. But then the trailer, I was like, I'm confused. Why are you showing me this when I want to see what the story's about?
So I said, how can you not know that G. Willow Wilson was white? You know what? I thought it might actually be a pen name. I didn't really think about it.
That's true.
I never really put two and two together. I'm like, oh, that's not what I expected. Darwin Cook. Darwin Cook was a pretty tough guy. I mean, he was very outspoken. I don't agree with his wife being dragged into the situation. I am kind of following on Twitter, not too much. But
we were looking at that earlier.
I don't think he would be real happy with the direction that Marvel and DC are going in. Definitely not. It's unfortunate his wife got dragged into it. I mean,
I don't know. I think she drug herself into it.
I think she just kind of drug herself into it, yeah.
And she came out.
So I don't know exactly what's going on with it. I did see the video clip. I did watch the entire interview on YouTube, and Darwin had it going on. I mean, he was a living legend, and it was a huge loss, for comics to lose Darwin. But he he was very outspoken, and I don't think he would be happy with the comic book industry right now. I mean, it's personal opinion. I mean, I can't
you don't know
speak. Yeah, I don't know him. I can't speak for him. I'm not going to say he would support or not support this or that. I don't think, given what I know of him from what I've seen and read, I don't think he'd be real happy with the way that the industry is right now. Mm-hmm. Probably because it's dying, and he's working in comics and it's dying. But yeah.
So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about with this?
Not really. I mean, I just, again, this just shows you how your perception of a product can be,
or one person involved in
one person involved can
ruin the entire product for you. And the thing is, it also teaches you to not be a dick on social media because, I mean, a lot of people are watching you, and if you behave in such a bad way, it's going to stick with them. Years later, like, oh, that was that person who was just mean for no reason, and it can sour a whole project because of one person acting like a dick.
Yeah, we have yet to see a single bit of the show animated. Yeah,
yeah.
That's the same with She-Ra. I mean, it's the same thing, and someone else talked about. And I mean, I'm not trying to bring up individuals and like bust on them, but the thing with a lot of these people that their career trajectories do not make a lot of sense. They're basically handed the reins to high-profile shows right out of college, practically. Like there used to be. You used to have to pay your dues. Right. You used to pay your dues. You would work your way up through the ranks, and eventually you'd be given showrunner, you'd be given a show to run. But now you've got these kids that run these shows at like 23, 24 with very, very little experience. which is odd. I don't know if it's because they're cheap or what, what's going on, but just, or the people
on social media, they build up a name on social media.
I think that's what it is. I really think
they've whined so much on social media that their name's recognizable.
I think, and there's still a problem with a lot of businesses right now, comics and animation, where I think they're conflating the number of users you have on social media with your ability to actually draw in paying customers. Mm-hmm. Again, Kate Leth is a good example. Kate Leth has like 60-some thousand Twitter followers, and her comics get canceled. Alleged. But her comics get canceled. Those 60-some thousand or whatever she has now Twitter followers are not actually buying her comic book. And, Noelle Stevenson, I think because she had so many Twitter followers, she had a lot of buzz in the press. They handed her She-Ra thinking, well, all these people are going to watch a show because of her working on it. So they made the entire article about her in Entertainment Weekly instead of making it about She-Ra. And to date, we still have not even seen 10 seconds of animation of the show.
I'm honestly afraid to see it.
Like, I don't know, there's a lot of hype about who's working on it, but substance.
We've mentioned this a couple times. When we said people buying followers, her and the other person we were mentioning earlier, the two we were talking about. But, it's really easy to find people who have a lot of fake followers, and it's really easy to determine those followers are fake. And yeah, you're right, retweet or interact. I mean, there's a little more interaction on some of the stuff than other people, but still, I question authenticity on a lot of this. Anyway, I was going to say something else and I can't remember what it was.
60,000 followers who don't read.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. One Twitter interactions claimable.
Well, when the trailer does drop, it probably will. And it might be good.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have...
we can't really say if it's good or not because we haven't seen it yet.
And that's the same with She-Ra. And again, what's off-putting about these shows is when... Well, yeah, I mean... but again, that's an established show. But what's really off-putting about is when they push the creator and the politics and the identity politics before the show itself.
Someone said about being a writer, you can write stories, and you can write stories that have some political, some of your political beliefs in them, but you can do them in such a way that you're not forcing on people and you're still entertaining.
Right.
And it's not agenda driven, it's story driven, and it's like, oh, by the way, I think this way, so I'm going to put a couple things in there, but I'm not going to make it my sole purpose for why I'm doing the story. And you can do that. And but it seems like the trend isn't even to do that. The trend is all about politics all the time, and people are so tired of it because you go to watch these shows because you don't want to deal with politics anymore. Because everywhere you go, it's constant the news, the social media, everything's politics. I hate going on Twitter and Facebook anymore because I hate dang Twitter. Well it's going to be
Twitter.
For every one tweet about dogs or video about dogs and something fun, there's going to be 100 other political things and you can't escape it. So people want to go watch these shows. They want to go be entertained. They want to not think about this, and you can't because everything is now political. Every effing thing is political.
Everything on Twitter anymore. I mean, Twitter used to be fun. I don't even like Twitter. I mean, I go on it.
I don't either.
But I mean, it's like you getting slapped in the face constantly with politics. It's like, even if I agree with you, I come on here to learn about like what's going on in entertainment and to interact with friends and, occasional funny dog video like Geeky was saying, not to be slapped upside the head with 1,000 MSNBC articles, or especially in comics. Like, I follow so many comic book people, and it's constant, like, freaking torches and pitchforks for anyone who's even remotely sympathetic to Comicsgate. I mean, just constant Nazi. I'm so freaking sick of it. Like, even people I used to like, I'm like, God, I'm tired of you talking. Shut up. Go write comic books. Go draw comic books. Stay the hell off of Twitter.
Yeah, go have some fun in your life and leave everybody else alone. I believe they are making She-Ra an orphan now. They're taking out the whole story that, she kind of was orphanish. I mean, turned out she had a brother and a family, but, in the original. But yeah, I think they're playing out more that she's an orphan in the new show. Yeah, subtlety. I think of these things after I'm done. Like, when I'm on the spot, my mind just, like, freezes, and I'm like, and afterwards, I think of something really intelligent to say, and, I don't say it till later.
I have said this before. E-Hero Andrew said, SJWs are becoming just as bad as Christian media creators being super preachy and in-your-face opinions. I have said before that, I actually spent my late teens and early 20s in basically a Christian cult, and the Christian entertainment was constantly, it was the same thing. It was like, it didn't matter if the movie was good. It didn't matter if the music was good. It was like, let's tell you, all about how pious the creators are,
right.
And you have to like it because it's Christian, and it's, even if it's subpar, you're not allowed to say that because, then you're turning on the brethren.
I always
whatever.
liked how you could take anything
odd.
popular and just slap Jesus on it, and they'd sell it in the Christian stores.
It was the same stuff. It was
I know, because I was in the Christian bookstores. Oh, well, thank you, Nerd Wonder. That's very nice of you. We appreciate that. We like talking to all you guys, too, because we always feel like we're living in this little vacuum where we're at, and it's like, no one wants to hear us rant.
The anime video Crunchyroll release contradicts itself. We are 50% female in all creative roles. Our writer's room is 100% female.
That's what I said. Would that be like 75% female then?
No, it's probably all the writers are women, and then
every other role is 50%.
The male grunts are actually doing the animation over in some sweatshop over in Korea or something.
Male. Our gophers are all male, so... I'm just saying.
Satanic Panic. Yeah, that's true. It's true.
It is. It's just getting, it's just getting.
I'm wondering because it used to be that liberals were about freedom of speech. And it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I remember the 90s and the early 2000s.
They still claim they're about freedom of speech.
No, they're not.
They're about freedom of speech for what they want to say. Ooh, there's that guy that always comes by revving his engine. Ooh, he's really revving it today. He's like trying to show off for those women because, as soon as you rev your engine, pants fall off, according to these guys. Anyway.
I need to get a motorcycle. I really do. Crotch rocket. You would like my crotch rocket.
It's just... No, the Christian media became SJW censored. No, not really. We're just comparing it. There's a lot of parallels between like what they complain about, like the especially the evangelicals that are in your face all the time about things. They're really extreme ones, and then there's a lot of similarities in the way they behave.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Well, we're saying SJWs hate religion. That's true. It's basically
we noticed.
Yeah, they hate religion, but it is a religion. Like, it really is a religion. It's about indoctrination. It's about saying the right thing to make sure that you're not excluded from the group or you'll be excommunicated.
Yes, and it is.
There's so...
They remind me of the Amish.
So many similarities between the far, far left and religious cults that it blows my mind, and people don't see it. Did you guys buy the pooping unicorn? We thought about it.
We were considering it.
We were going to.
We were thinking
I can't
about
justify
it. It's $50.
$50. We would need
$50 for a slutty unicorn.
Slutty. That unicorn was trash.
And if you people who don't know what I'm talking about, we went to Walmart today, and they have these unicorns done by the people who do Bratz, and they are these mystery box unicorns. They're $50. They look like these. I don't even know they look like these Bratz meat, unicorn meat, some kind of pedo wet dream doll. And with these diapers and different things, and you feed it stuff, and then it turns it into slime poop, which it craps out into the diapers, I'm assuming. Yes. And then you can play with the poop. And I'm just like, what the hell on so many levels?
What marketing what drugs were they taking during this marketing where they're like, hey, like if you've ever seen that the scene in Big where they're pitching the toy ideas. And they're talking about like the building transformers, and they're like, what's so fun about playing with a building, right? And I'm thinking like Tom Hanks pitching this rainbow shitting unicorn toy. I'm like, let's make a baby doll with a horse head, and it shits out slimy poop, and rainbows, and they'd be like, what the hell are you smoking?
We're being inclusive. We included rainbows.
God.
So I'm just go. You can go watch that video after this, but it's very. We were talking about. We were discussing. We almost bought the Dumbledore doll too to see what was under his robes. We haven't done that yet either. We're debating.
God,
but
we're sick.
We are.
We're just like totally messed up.
We need help. So anyway. Let's see what else is going on here. I wasn't reading stuff. Are you reading stuff? I'm
trying to read stuff. There are a lot of... Thank you for the comments. We're trying to get...
We're trying to keep up, guys.
The She-Ra trailer will drop right before the show drops, so people don't have time to react to it. Like, hey, She-Ra's dropping tomorrow. Ta-da! Surprise! I think if the reaction had been better to She-Ra, we probably would have seen a trailer by now, but...
I can't even breathe.
My Little Pony created by James Gunn. Oh my God. I am trying to be neutral on the James Gunn situation and report it as like news, but I have, again, like, just Disney knows more than they're letting on is what I personally think.
We'll go back to the topic. But anyway, just if you haven't watched the unicorn video, you may go watch that after this. It is a very interesting toy, and we're debating. We might end up getting it. We're not sure yet. I don't know if I want to get. I don't know. But anyway, back to the point. So
back to the point. We had the Moldy Nugget just came in and said, "What the hell is going on?"
I think the toys are actually what's on the box. I think that's what they look like. I don't know. We'll have to, we probably can find out. Anyway, go ahead. But
Hell,
anyway.
okay. Moldy Nugget, what's going on? Crunchyroll is creating their own original anime, but the anime looks like a Tumblr show, and the trailer was a non-trailer. It just talked about
how diverse it was.
How diverse the creators were, and Kate Leth is working on it, and Kate Leth is despised by many people in nerddom because she says a lot of
bad behavior on the internet.
Crappy things on Twitter.
Okay, that pretty much sums it up. There you go.
And then we started talking about unicorn shitting slime, because we had a video earlier today where we saw this unicorn toy that poops slime, and this is being marketed to kids by the people who made Bratz.
Get it for science. I don't know. We might. Honestly, knowing us, we probably will, because curiosity will win out. We'll be like, okay, we got to see this thing.
So I do get the legit concern, because people do subscribe to Crunchyroll, not for original American content, but they subscribe to Crunchyroll because they want them to bring over the best anime, and they're using the money to fund these new shows. But I think they're trying to survive. I think I think they realize that, like, they're going to have to create original content. But I'm also like, why this? Why not? If you're going to create original content, why don't you just work with a Japanese studio and do straight up anime? Mm-hmm. Kind of like Netflix is doing that. I mean, they're bringing original series over. You look at Castlevania.
But on the flip side of that, there's a lot of people, out in California who are, animators who have no jobs. So maybe they're going to try to spin it as, we were trying to give jobs to the animators in California. I don't know.
Everybody's going to animation. So what's happening now? And again, you can see this progression. It's remember the gross out toys from the 90s? Yeah, it was. They had a lot of really
I think it probably was developed for boys, and then they turned into girls.
Getting out of toys, though.
But instead of gross out, even though, girls might like gross out, too, instead of gross out, it's just magical, glittery, slimy poop. Anyway.
Okay. Here, diversity, the last pooping unicorn. Check their Twitter. How about, let's see. Netflix Punisher intended for audience to hate Frank Castle because he was pro-gun.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That actually wouldn't surprise me. I was surprised it got away. I love the Punisher, because Marvel will not let any of their characters smoke. So the Punisher can't smoke a cigar, but he can blow somebody's head off at point blank range. I was just like, what? Like, that's kind of... Logan can't smoke, but you saw how violent Logan was. The movie was. It was crazy. So
everybody buy poop ponies. Yeah.
Oh my god, the Jaden Smith anime. Yeah, that was horrible.
I didn't even see it, and I'm so glad I didn't, because I have enough sad things in my life right now.
I think Crunchyroll, I honestly think this is like, I think they know they're losing ground to Hulu and Netflix, because Netflix and Hulu have anime pretty much locked down at this point. Crunchyroll used to be like, you went to Crunchyroll for all of your anime, and now it's like a lot of the original shows are coming to Netflix. Well, and I think they're like, we got to do something, so let's make Tumblr cartoons.
I agree that original content is a good idea. I will stand by that. Original content is, real original content is always better than, rebooting something, the 20th time and ruining it. So I can see where they want to go with it. And this is the first of many, so I can see where they're going to go with it. I just don't think that if you're going to do something like that, you should lead off with, hey, we're doing this great new show. We're not going to show you the show. We're just going to talk about the creators and how diverse they are. I'm like, no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. Where's the show?
Nobody cares. Yeah, exactly. Like, show me a good trailer. That's all people are asking. You want? Why are you getting downvoted? Because you took, what could have been a really cool trailer. Like, wow, this looks really cool.
We dropped the trailer. That's not a trailer. It's just us. Hey.
But we have over 200 people watching. Is that for real?
Why? I'm sorry.
Why do we have over 200 people watching us
talk about yelling? Oh my god!
Talking about
or
unicorns
laughing
shitting
hysterically for no reason, because
Oh god! But thank you so much. We're hoping to hit 10,000 subs, and we'll rant more. She'll rant more. I'll make her rant more.
Wait. Just look for those toys on YouTube. Watch the spot after seeing the spot ends with the line, the keychain keeps the poop fresh. Oh boy.
Oh my god. Okay. We've never seen it before. We were at the store.
Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up soon. We may or may not get the unicorn. It's $50 though. I'm just like, it's $50. I could do a lot with $50.
I know, $50. That's a lot of stuff. Like, we could buy games. We could play games.
More toys. I could buy I could buy my catcher that I want. My original catcher that I want.
We came for geeky.
What? Yeah, it's because I'm the best. No, I'm not yelling today though. I'm not mad enough to yell yet. But
this is what was frustrating about it. Like, go ahead.
I was saying, you get the unicorn pony, I might laugh a lot.
Oh my god! But like, we you watch this, at first we're like, why are people having such a fit about this? And because I was like, yeah, this looks kind of cute. But then it was like, the more we watch, it's like, yes, anger rising.
It's like, gosh.
But then what's going to happen? The story's going to be, it's a bunch of white men wearing MAGA hats that are busting on this poor little girl anime
these
now.
These people that are poor, these people trying to be diverse.
What's happening at all? You're just, the anime fans are not, I think, comics. Okay, so gamers are pretty competitive. Gamers are pretty tough.
I'm competitive.
They're tough. I know you're competitive.
I'm very competitive. I have stories. I have stories about how competitive I can be.
So gamers pushed these people out of the gaming industry pretty much. They went into comics. Comic book people, and this is coming from a friend of mine who was in Gamergate, and he's like, comic book people, the reason the comic book people or the reason people took over comics as easily as they did is because you guys are kind of pusses and you kind of let them just kind of walk in and take over because you wanted to be nice. And he said, that was your biggest mistake. You're trying to be nice.
It's like Lord of the Rings. Show no mercy, because there'll be no mercy shown to you.
And that's exactly what happened. So comics, like, it was like then everybody kind of got painted in a corner, and they were sort of, beholden to these wackadoos. And now anime, though, I don't think anime is going to have, like, the tactics that worked for these people in the gaming industry and the comic book industry to get themselves in there is not going to work in anime. Like, anime will have none of this shit.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I want to know your opinion of female Doctor Who. We have varying opinions on this.
We were actually going to do a video on this, and I wasn't sure. I mean, Geeky's very much against a female Doctor.
I'm not very much. I don't know what I think about it because I just don't think it fits. I think it feels so forced, I guess, is my... If you can make something fit, like, I don't care what it is. If it fits, I'm fine with it. But it just seemed really forced. Like, they were trying to literally retcon stuff and like really push to do it. And you think I'd be for it because I'm like, yeah, women. I don't know. I'm undecided. That's when I think I'm gonna have to watch it and then I'll let you know because I'm not really sure what I think of it. I really don't.
This is the pooping unicorn for those of you just coming in. Anyway.
Well, I'm going to keep standing for She-Ra because I think She-Ra
deserves better.
Money laundering. No, money laundering. The closest I get to money laundering is when Neon keeps leaving his dang wallet in his pants. And I think I've washed that thing like at least 7 or 8 times. And I'm waiting for his credit card to stop working. That's the closest I get to money laundering.
I know.
I keep washing his dang wallet because he keeps losing it in his pants.
I'm forgetting everything anymore. I'm getting old.
He is.
There's the poop.
Yeah. Now look, beyond that looks like bondage to me. I think it's supposed to be their hair.
Oh my god. Look at this. I would say look at this shit, but this is literally...
Rainbow Bright Star.
And it's trademarked. How did they get away with that? This is sad. We're commenting on our own video on another video. This is so sad. This is what we've run out of stuff to talk about. So let's just comment on our video we posted
anyway,
4 hours
we're gonna
ago.
have to wrap this up anyway. Now I think we're gonna start something on Thursdays. Are you gonna try this?
Yeah, we're gonna try. Oh, thank you, James Cole. Now it costs $45. Thank you very much. You not have to do that. We might have to buy the damn unicorn.
I know I'm probably got to buy the claw machine for our daughter for her birthday. She wants that, but that's not as much fun as pooping unicorns. But we're gonna start something on Thursdays now. I think we're gonna do like Throwback Thursdays, and he's going. Well, every other week is gonna be different. So like 2 weeks of the month is gonna be you playing retro games with Trisket.
Yeah,
and then that'll start tomorrow. And then the opposite Thursdays in the month, we're going to pick some 80s topic to talk about, be it a cartoon show or movies or something that was really weird about the 80s, like stickers or something like that.
Because we're old.
And we're going to talk about fun 80s stuff because it's
the 80s
Throwback
were
Thursday.
awesome. The 80s were, I mean, there's a reason that all of these movies now are going back to the 80s because it really feels like that was like...
Yeah, if we buy it, we'll show it pooping live, yes.
Yeah, we'll do a poop stream. We'll do a poop stream.
If we buy one.
And we'll get a table and a camera and we'll set the thing up and we'll make it shit all over...
I still want to get Dumbledore and see what's under his robes too.
Oh my god, we could make it shit on Dumbledore.
I do want to do more about story making and world building. We were actually talking about that today. We want to do some more videos on that too, and on creating and people have questions about what should I do to get my stuff out there, and if I want to pitch something, what do I do, and things like that. And we actually could help people with that. So we're going to start trying to do that too. We're going to try to do like one a day as often as we can.
We're trying to. We don't want to get a habit because we cover comics, but because
we do a lot.
We worked in comics. I don't know if we told people on here before, but
You've told people before.
Yeah, I worked.
Did I mention it? Have I mentioned it?
No. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but we worked on comics for years, and we worked on Disney comics for years. But the comic book industry now is just, we don't work in comics now because the money is not there. The industry just sucks. Yeah. It sucks now. So
do a video. We can probably do one on world building. We can probably do different videos on that stuff too. Actually, we did this really fun thing at Anime Con. It was at was it Zenkai Con we did that where we did the world building thing where we had that little fun game.
Oh yeah, that'd be a fun live stream.
It was a fun live stream. Basically, it's audience participation and everybody works together to build a world, and it's actually pretty fun. We should do that sometime too. Everybody liked it at Zenkai Con. So.
Yeah. So but Zenkai Con was it was fun. That was the one where we did the Cards Against Humanity with Matt Mercer.
Yeah,
I think. And
what my son cared about was you played Cards Against Humanity with the voice of McCree, and I'm like, yeah, he was very nice. He gave me a hug.
Yeah. There's all kinds of. I think basically. Comics now. The future of comics.
Cartoons on Tumblr.
Yeah, the future of comics.
True, so it's funny.
The future of comics now is definitely indie because the comic shops, unfortunately, are dying. I do think politics played some part in that, but part of it's just people just lost interest in comic books. Thank you, Netflix Disenchantment. Yeah, we need to watch that.
I do want to watch that. Yeah. I'm just trying to have the time to do it.
Yeah, we do. Getting some interesting comments here. We do need to sit down and watch it. We keep having a request for Stretch Armstrong too.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Our son keeps wanting to look at them. Every time we go to Walmart, he's like, "Did you see these toys? They're funny."
Yeah.
Anyway, so are we going to wrap this up?
I think we're gonna wrap this up now. So I think I don't know where this is gonna go with High Guardian Spice. It sounds. I keep thinking Old Spice.
I actually want to see some of the show and not the PSA about the show. It's like
that's pretty much what it was.
Basically, it's like the preemptive PSA. It's aimed for She-Ra. It's the preemptive PSA is telling you how diverse it is and letting you know that you're not allowed to complain about it because if you do, you're a hater.
Right.
And so it's basically the preemptive PSA telling you how you shouldn't think before you actually see the show.
Yeah. So okay, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. God, we had like 225 people at one point, which is awesome. So, but thank you so much. The SJW is moving from fandom to fandom. It's happening. I don't think it's going to get, everybody's worried about anime. I think anime will be fine. Anime fans are scrappy. They're scrappy.
I like the word scrappy.
They're very, very scrappy. So
that's usually Scrappy Doo. I don't like Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, Funimation will make original content. Funimation's like the only game in town anymore. It's like the only thing left. So we're gonna wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching Clownfish TV. I don't know what we're gonna complain about next, but we don't want to just complain.
We may or may not do a unicorn. We'll have to see. A unicorn video. I better clarify that. We may or may not do a unicorn video.
Oh my god! I'm
definitely not airing the one where we do the unicorn.
Oh my god! That would be okay. So yeah, we do Patreon. Geeky will do a unicorn.
I'm not doing a unicorn.
She'll do that unicorn until it squirts out slime. No, I'm sorry. That is not actually going to happen. Don't get excited.
We're gonna have words.
Don't get excited.
Okay, so we'll see you guys later.
Okay. See you guys. Bye.